Big Scuba Blues could do all that. So I just watched his NBA versus Prisoners video, and I seen this in his. You know when your video in and it's another video in there. I seen this in there, and I just wanted to check it out because for my main channel lately, really I'm just trying to grow. So what I really just try to do is just do a whole bunch of stuff that I like, whether it get views or not. Then I do stuff that I also know will get views or attract people. You know, I try to throw a lot of videos of myself and just personality videos so you kind of know who I am. But other than that, you know, it might be some videos like going to DreamCon or going to homecoming, family homecoming, or going to this college game or basketball game or stuff like that. You know, that will get attention and people are looking for, but also I'm in it. But then if they like that video, then they might go see my other stuff and learn me. Anyways, I just want to see semi what this video is about because it was kind of interesting. And I know some of the videos that I make that aren't like, I guess, a hot topic. Are those videos pointless or we just about to see?
Channel 12 years ago. 25 years old. I started this YouTube channel 12 years ago. 25 years old. I've never cared about school. I never went to college. I've never even had a job. This YouTube channel is my entire life's work, and I want to change everything. For the last 5 years, the mission of this channel has been to create the greatest basketball videos in the world. We're trying to create the greatest basketball content in the world. But after this video, that will no longer be the purpose of DC Heat. And although this will be the biggest change we've ever made to the channel, I think there's been 5 distinct chapters of DC Heat. Before I reveal to you what's coming next, I want to take a little trip down memory lane to reveal to you how we got here.
I'm here.
Active prison, my partake.
Elite girls who Oh my God! Today, I'm in the hood.
Hey.
How the hell do you shoot like that?
It's game. Hey, I'm Aiden, and I'm going to be making some Twitter videos. So yeah, I'm going to be making a lot of performance tests, in-depth reviews, and you know, if you like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to be back here 12 years after making that intro video, and I still distinctly remember making that intro video. Setting up my phone vertically for a YouTube video was the first mistake, but then it took me probably an hour and a half to make this 2-minute video just because I was so awkward and insecure and kept redoing it.
Learning how to do it.
One of the craziest moments of my life happened
on
right after filming that, turning the camera off and picking up my phone. Believe it or not, I had a feeling come over me that I've never felt to this day, and I had never felt in my life up until that moment. And to describe that feeling, it just felt like becoming a YouTuber was my destiny.
Today we got the Legend Blue on.
That's another 2. Let me go get that water.
Oh, Flame City boy.
That's game, baby.
Oh my God. I'm from Blam. I'm from Bangladesh.
Kermit.
How the hell do you shoot like that?
It's game.
I was walking with my mom and my brother, and I was talking about YouTube. I was like, I bet one day, in like a year from now, I'm gonna have like 2,000 subscribers. And Colin was like, shut up, Aiden, you're not gonna do that. And my mom was like laughing at me too. And I was like, no,
Your parents be your worst enemy. I don't even want to say your parents, but the people around you. But I have heard, shout out to my boy John. He had a song, and it was basically saying like, everybody don't need a hero. Some people need a villain. Some people need that person that'll keep them motivated or keep them running. Like, there's people I thought about that said certain stuff to me in high school that I might think about while I'm running. You know what I'm saying? So in a sense, villains help you. You know.
I promise you, I will do it.
It sucks when it's your own family, though. Like, and I'm sure we all can agree with that, and we've all dealt with that.
See, a year from now, Shaboy's at
Your mama,
5.
your grandma, your girlfriend,
digits, boy.
your next door neighbor.
At 5 digits, boy.
And ever since I hit publish on that first video back in 2014, my entire life revolved around sneakers, basketball, and especially YouTube.
This video is gonna help you get started on your channel. YouTube analytics. YouTube.
And with that, I went from no one at all watching the videos, getting less than 10, 20 views my first 10 videos, to finally hitting milestone after milestone after milestone on the channel.
Today we got the 100 subscriber Q&A video. I'm here with my brother Colin. What's up? So when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I was thinking to myself like, you know, what should I do? 10,000 subscriber, thank you. Today we have my 100,000 subscriber video.
And then eventually, I made a video 2 years into this journey that would change my life forever.
Well, first off, I'd like to say my name is Edwin. I'm 15 years young. I take great pride in my sportsmanship, and I absolutely love shooting hoops.
Nerds don't dress like that, though. That's what I always say. Nerds don't dress like that.
I just want to give a very warm welcome to the new 200,000 people that have subscribed to my channel.
That's how TV portrays.
Today we got a one-on-one with Oprah Side.
Yes, sir. Let's get it cracking.
You know, maybe the nerd in the hood can beat an NBA player. You never know. So let's get it started. And my last question is, do you think you can beat me in one-on-one?
So now, because of one little video I made right here 10 years ago when I was only 15 years old, it felt like I had already made it. I was a freshman in high school making more money off of this video than my teachers make in their entire salary. I was getting recognized constantly in public. I was getting calls from Nike and Under Armour to do sponsorships. And now, only 2 years into this YouTube journey, it felt like my dream had become a reality. But that didn't mean I still wasn't a dumbass little kid.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
My dad, you know, shakes me, wakes me up at about 2 a.m. Aiden, look who's in your room. So I look over, and there are these two jacked dudes just standing like right where that rug is. He's like, Aiden, these men are Marines. This is where your life changes, you know. We're gonna send you to a therapeutic program in Idaho. So basically at the time I was like smoking weed and skipping school.
Slowly but surely, I let the dream I had finally accomplished slip right out of my hands.
So that's when they're like, yeah, we're gonna have to arrest you.
Oh my God, man, what is he doing?
I completely sabotaged
He must be
everything
from
I had
DC
built,
for real. I heard him say
including
Slim.
myself.
Not him, but whoever was in that video.
I completely sabotaged everything I had built, including myself.
Dumbass kid, got it.
I found myself battling pretty severe anxiety and depression, as well as a lack of self-control and even substance abuse. So a year into inconsistent uploads, getting a fraction of the views I used to pull, and then every time I upload, it's just my entire comment section clowning me, I quit. But I still had some dog left in me.
So from April all the way to September, all I did was train my body. I lifted very hard. I did speed workouts, agility workouts, jumping workouts.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy DC, and I'm back on YouTube.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy DC Heat. I'm here with Devontae Friga from Mount Union. He just drove 5 hours. Come watch my game. Let me see that SD post.
So I graduated high school.
I'm here with Devontae Friga from Mount Union. He just drove 5 hours. Come watch my game. Let me see that SD post.
He dunk it way cleaner.
So I graduated high school in 2020, and as all my friends are going and moving into their college dorms, I move into this apartment in DC by myself and try to make YouTube my full-time income. And thank God at this point, I finally had enough character development where I had the discipline, I had the consistency, I had the character to actually maintain success without self-sabotaging. The problem was, I now didn't have that passion for the content that I once had, and we had really no motion on the channel. We weren't really averaging great views, but after continuing to do the right thing, to show up every day, to work my ass off at this channel by pretty much means of survival, I started to learn YouTube more and more and more, and eventually we struck gold again. About a year and a half into coming back to YouTube, I finally dropped another ultra viral video. Basketball, but the court is a trampoline. And this sent me down a path of learning absolutely everything I could on how to backwards engineer YouTube success. I watched every single Mr. Beast interview or podcast where he's given out the keys. I'm taking pages of notes. I'm consuming all of the great minds out there on YouTube virality. I start lifting with my boy Brandon from Hoop Flicks, Field Flicks, Kick Flicks, a bunch of other Flicks channels. He's an absolute YouTube genius. And between every set at the gym, I'm asking him questions. I'm bouncing ideas off him. What do you think about this video? Da-da-da. And eventually, I started to learn the principles behind YouTube success. And this started the next chapter of the channel, trying to create the greatest basketball videos in the world. And now this is when DC Heat turned from just me and a camera and a laptop into a real business. And this apartment turned into our office. What was my living room now is 3 desk setups and screens. And we finally brought on our first ever full-time team members. And shout out to the lifelong brothers that I gained throughout the past 4 or 5 years. Shout out to Isaac Schutz. Shout out to Tyler Chappelle from this chapter in the channel. And of course, shout out to the one who's still here to this day, my brother, Casper. Now, if you're a fan of the channel, you might notice we put a huge emphasis on the video editing that we do, and we really began to excel in this area when I shot this 15-year-old Dutch kid a DM who had never touched a basketball in his life and asked him to edit for us because this motherfucker is a wizard with Premiere Pro and After Effects. Since then, we've been Kobe and Shaq. I flew this dude over the Atlantic Ocean and taught him everything I know when it comes to DC Heat editing. And this, paired with his visual effects bag and his unique style, is why we've been cooking the last 5 years on the channel. And that leads us to today. And in this chapter of the channel, in the last 4 or 5 years, we've really made some amazing content. We've averaged over 1.5 million views per video. We've established our banger staple series on the channel, like the Beat Me vs. the Hood, the Child Prodigies videos, the Slam Ball videos, the full team of NBA legends versus random videos that started with Steph Curry loving the first episode and flying us out to just kick it with him. We've done our Europe tour. We did our My Park Takeover show that was just amazing to make. And as grateful as I am for this last chapter of the channel and as successful as it's been, it's time that this chapter comes to a close. And allow me to explain why. We all have a God-sized void within us. When I had accomplished my lifelong dream of becoming a YouTuber and I made a video with 42 million views and Nike and Under Armour are calling me, you see what happened next. I self-sabotaged, I lost everything. It clearly was not the answer for me. And I'm not gonna get into my entire story that eventually ended and led me to Christ. But what I will tell you is the verse in the Bible that says the kingdom of God is within you has become real for me. On multiple occasions, I've had these experiences with it. It's not an everyday thing where this void for me is filled because I'm still a dummy from chapter 3 and I still sin and I lose the indwelling of the Holy Spirit. But overall, I can tell you, I can be homeless living under a bridge and I will be completely content if I have God with me, because I know I'll be walking in truth, the one and only truth. And I will have the God that created me and loves me with me. That is what life is about. And I learned that the shepherd has called me back to the sheepfold. And now I want to live with this spirit guiding this channel and everything that I do. And it's crazy looking back at the 12-year history of this channel, how it started, how I built this huge audience, how I then learned how to make viral content and gain influence. And I have this skill set that I can utilize to influence many, many people. And now I want to influence them to show them that same treasure that I've experienced, which is Christ. And I want that.
Okay, I love that a lot. But, which I know he wants to reach a lot of people you know, because he has 1 million subs. So I know he wanted to reach all his fans. But not even because it's religion. Let me just clear that up. But let's say he wanted to just start making Call of Duty videos. Would it be best to make a new channel for that and just tell people like, oh, yeah, I do this over here, da da da. And then you could do the collab thing now where you would have the collab channel, or it'll be right here where both of your channels would be, like I'm editing videos and doing it right now, but for my other 2 channels. And, you know, or I don't know, I mean, I ain't watched the whole video, but I don't know if he's going to just change his whole page to, you know, wherever he's going with this. I'm sure it's probably maybe religious stuff, which would be cool. But just in general, even if he was doing walkthroughs on video games, like when you feel like it would be best, not him personally, I'm just asking my chat or whoever comments and watch this, when y'all feel like it would be better for him to just make a new channel and then just have that there and keep the basketball channel what it is for what it is. Because like I used to make beats back in the day. I got 1,000 subs or something on there. I wouldn't want to just start doing car content on there or something, you know, because it's like, oh, let me just leave that channel for what it is, the beats, you know, and you can just go back to there. And if I want to do a car channel, I mean, I could make a little post on my beat channel and be like, oh, here's my blah 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 car channel or whatever the case is, and go from there. But I don't know. I also don't have 1,000 subs on my reaction channel, so I probably don't know what I'm talking about.
To be the guiding force behind this next chapter of the channel. So without further ado, this is the reveal behind what we're doing with DC Heat moving forward. We're creating a professional basketball development and AAU program with the goal of helping young hoopers become pro basketball players. Why don't you come take a look at the new home of DC Heat Elite.
That's crazy. That took a big turn. I was way thrown off. I'm thinking he's about to end his channel.
All right, don't get carried away. This is not our facility, and as you see, it's not done just quite yet, but this state-of-the-art, brand new basketball performance facility will be the home of DC Heat Elite. We're gonna be creating a weekly Netflix-style documentary series telling these kids stories and recording the raw highs and lows that comes from striving for greatness. So why have I chosen this path for the future of the channel? Well, there's been 3 main things that have overlapped perfectly that have made my decision very clear. First of all is, of course, my personal desire to do something with more substance.
Craziest mix-up.
Second of all, the NIL era of college sports, where over 1,000 Division I men's basketball players are getting paid 6 or 7 figures per year, has created more opportunity for young hoopers than ever before. And the problem is the American basketball development system overall is broken. So here's my plan to fix it with DC Heat Elite. Here is our pyramid of success. 4 tiers of development, elite experts at every level. Let's break it down. Identity, habits, and a family environment is our foundation.
Leonard Stevens, DC Heat Elite, Strength and Movement.
Morgan Stubb, DC Heat Elite, Diet and Nutrition.
Drake Davis, DC Heat Elite, Mental Performance.
And on to our third tier, basketball development.
Justin Lavorne, DC Heat Elite Shooting Development.
Let's go.
Danilo Pinnock Jr., DC Heat Elite Skill Development.
Ryan Oringer, DC Heat Elite Basketball IQ.
The tip of our pyramid is our NIL, Media Ready, and Personal Brand Development tier led by me. This is DC Heat Elite, a program built for the most committed young hoopers who want to play college or professional basketball. And we're currently looking for 50 7th through 9th grade hoopers from the DMV to play for us in season 1. So if you want that to be you, keep watching, but now allow me to explain our program in detail, starting with our foundation. Your identity is your foundation. What you believe is true about yourself determines your actions, which determines your habits, which determines your results, which determines your life. So it's crucial our players don't base their worth on their last performance on the court, but they build their identity on the solid rock of truth. So how can we control this? Well, we can communicate this because we know faith comes by hearing, but we also know that faith without works is dead. You can tell yourself you're a Division I basketball player all you want, but but you'll never embody it if your life doesn't reflect it. If you don't have D1 habits and a D1 lifestyle. And that's why every one of our players is going to be equipped with a daily habits tracker. They're logging their workouts, their mental work, their recovery, because every decision you make is proof of who you really are. And when you're aware you're building that stack of evidence, it doesn't just make it easier to be more consistent and put the work in, but when you're pushed to your limits, you'll know you belong there. And the final part of our foundation is a family environment, because you don't become who you're supposed to be alone. And a coach can only pull greatness out of you if there's love there. Your teammates shouldn't just be guys you're playing with, they should be your competition, your accountability, your brothers. Because just as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. But this strong foundation will mean nothing if the mind and body on top of it can't handle the load demanded by greatness. So now on to the second tier of our pyramid, mental and physical excellence. And allow me to introduce to you our first expert, 6-year NFL tight end,
Leonard Stevens, 6-year NFL veteran. I've been training grade school to professional level athlete for the last 20 years in strength and movement. Super excited to get started. The first thing we're going to do is evaluate all the players and focus on creating individualized plans for each athlete, really digging into what he needs to be the best version of himself, not just some cookie cutter, general program for everybody, because one size does not fit all. And then we're going to program that 3 to 4 days a week, integrated with the basketball skills and practices, and then we're going to check on them and reevaluate every 30 days.
But the best training in the world will mean nothing if you're not fueling your body properly. And that's why we're bringing on our diet nutrition specialist, Morgan Stubb. So Morgan, first question here, what do you say to the people that say you only got this position because you're DC Heat's girlfriend?
I would say that's probably true. So it's really hard to eat healthy in America. 70% of the food supply in America is ultra processed, full of seed oils, chemicals, and poison, essentially. So young athletes in America are falling victim to this, and it's okay to eat a little bit of fast food or soda in moderation, but it's composing the majority of their diets, which is leading to gut dysbiosis and low testosterone and poor recovery, rather than eating real whole foods that are gonna support performing at the highest level. So we're gonna start by making personalized nutrition plans for each athlete based on their own needs and their macros. And then all the kids have to do is take photos of their food, because we're using AI calorie tracking, which is gonna help us hold them accountable on not only the quality of their food, but also the amount of their food, so that we can reach their goals.
How many of you all know that person who is?
So AI is getting crazy, but to me, how can AI really detect what's going on? I mean, you probably gotta tell it what you're putting in there, but are you just able to just take a picture of some French fries? Like, how you know what type of oil I use? Even that, like, how you know what type of salt I use? Do I have to tell you what type of salt that I put in there, or does it just see the salt and just know, oh, that's such and such salt or something? I don't know, but AI is getting crazy. So
is eating right. They have all the right habits. They're putting in the work. They're shooting lights out.
Even though French fries not even good.
But then when they step out in front of a packed crowd, they crumble. And that's why we're bringing on a mental performance specialist and Drake Davis.
Hi there, my name is Drake Davis, and my company is SIP. It stands for Stay in Process. I have been in the mental game since I was 18 years old. I was a baseball player, drafted out of high school, and transparently struggled pretty terribly with my mental game in college, and was introduced really to working the mental game then. And as I worked in this mental game, I ended up getting to work under many great mental performance coaches. What I found is that a lot of these coaches out there have a very cookie cutter approach. And one of my deepest beliefs about the mental game is that there are different archetypes of athletes. And so with that being said, I have my own company now. I'm working with professional athletes, Olympians, collegiate athletes, all the way to 12-year-old athletes. So the overarching framework that I'm using with these athletes starts with identity. You cannot outperform a low self-image. Now, the second part of the framework stems from the controllables. Optimal performance in any sport comes from a ruthless commitment to the present moment and to the things that are in your control: body language, focus, and self-talk. People talk all the time about feeling confident, and what this is doing confidence.
So we've cultivated a family environment and helped our players build a strong identity, mind, and body that will equip them to now push past their limits. Now it's time to make them as dangerous with a basketball in their hands as humanly possible. And if there's one skill that can change a player's entire trajectory overnight, it's the ability to shoot the basketball. So we'll be bringing on a dedicated shooting coach with the goal of turning all of our players, point guard through center, into absolute sharpshooters. Allow me to introduce to you Justin Lavorne.
Over the past 5 years, we've worked with thousands of shooters, and I've been able to see progress for middle school, high school, college, and pro athletes.
All right, it seems like Justin's a little too humble to break down his own expertise, so let me explain why he's one of the best shooting coaches in the world. It's not because he averaged the most points per possession in the entire country as a walk-on when he was at Oral Roberts, or even because of his work with some of the best players in the world. It's because of the sheer amount of young developing players Justin's turned into lifelong sharpshooters regardless of how they shot before working with him. And he's had multiple college players accredit his work to the reason these guys are able to play at the college level.
With DC Heat Elite, we're developing a ground-up system where we start by pinpointing the mechanical flaws that they have and then detailing an individual customized plan to go from great shooting form to shot making in games and then to becoming a confident sniper that they've always known they can be.
And on to our skills development department, we're bringing on two guys that each have 10+ year professional basketball careers, and they've both trained at the professional level as well. Julian Vaughn and Danilo Pinnock Jr.
Danilo Pinnock Jr., 1,000-point scorer at the George Washington University, 58th pick in the 2006 NBA draft by the Los Angeles Lakers, and that was the beginning of my 10-year professional career. I've been working with kids of all ages for the last 9 years since I retired from the game. My training philosophy really mirrors what I picked up in Europe, what I saw in Europe, where everybody was getting basketball training, not necessarily position training. It's vital that everybody creates offense and then everybody can score the basketball in today's game. That they understand that the philosophy of less is more is what coaches are looking for. And this way they can attract the look that they're looking for.
Now you can have all the skills in the world, but you'll never reach your ceiling as a player if you don't know how to play the game at the highest level. And that's why we're bringing on a program-wide basketball IQ coach with NBA experience, Brian Oehringer.
Brian Oehringer. I started at the University of Maryland working for the Hall of Famer, Gary Williams there. Went on to work for the Wizards, 6 years in total, working with the coaching staff. Did a year as an advanced scout for the Hawks and the Raptors. And then since then, I spent the last almost 10 years now training kids, coaching teams. I think we're going to really prioritize development over winning. We're going to trust all 5 guys to learn how to make decisions and learn how to handle in transition and get to the basket in terms of the basketball IQ part. A lot of film study, taking all the best things I learned from the league. So we're going to take a pro-type style approach, maximize their development, and make them into the best version of themselves that they can be.
Finally, the top of our pyramid, the media-ready NIL and personal brand development tier. And who better to lead this department than the man himself, the world-renowned, the nerd in the hood, DC Heat.
Oh, man.
That was sick. So I have 3 main focuses for this tier. First of all, if you want to become successful at all, if you even just want people to listen to you, you need to be a good communicator. You need to be confident, and this is a skill. You need to know how to tell your story for people to become a fan of you. And the other piece to this tier is building your name, image, and likeness in your personal brand. Attention is the currency of the future in 2026, and sports is an entertainment industry. You will always be more successful as a basketball player throughout your career if you have a brand outside of what you can do on the court. And let's think about after the 20 to 30 years that you pour into your sport, now it's time for you to leave basketball and move on. If you've built a personal brand capitalizing off of all your success throughout this journey, well, now you have something to monetize or to use to get hired. So that is DC Heat Elite. This is the next chapter of the channel, and man, I am very humbled to be able to work with these experts and to have crafted this team that's going to really create a transformative experience for our players. And I just can't wait to document it with the content here for y'all. And for all you 7th through 9th grade hoopers in the DMV that want to register for the tryouts for season 1 of DC Heat Elite, you can do so at the link in the description of this video. But before you go run to register, think to yourself, have a conversation with your parents. As you see, this is a program designed for the most committed hoopers that want to play pro ball, the kids that eat, sleep, breathe basketball. So if that's you, go click the link and register. And for everybody else, welcome to the next chapter of DC Heat.
Oh, that video was fire. That video was fire. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know exactly where it was going at first, it kind of threw me for a mix-up. If y'all play fighting games, y'all get what I'm trying to say. My fighting game will be, if you go subscribe, it'll be right there. Fighting game channel, whatever. But hopefully I enjoyed that. That was fun to watch. If y'all got some more videos y'all want me to watch, drop it in the comments.